What's going on, everybody? My name is Aiden and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to be discussing whether or not the Chicago Bulls have truly turned a new leaf in terms of their NBA season. Now, these last two games for the Chicago Bulls have delivered two massively great performances to be proud of. Not many of them we have seen this season, but these last two games have set a standard. Have the Chicago Bulls turned that new leaf, or do you believe it's too early to tell? And I guess that goes into a different question as well. Is AK correct for suggesting that after the trade for Zach LaVine, we will see what the Chicago Bulls team will look like before we do any other trades and stuff of that nature? But before we get any further, if you like the video and you want to see more from me, drop a like, drop a follow, and or subscribe if you are new, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls. And again, have they turned over a new leaf? Also, do you believe AK is right for suggesting that they will experiment with this team before, I guess, making any more deals after the Zach LaVine trade and stuff of that nature? Now, let's get started. Have the Chicago Bulls turned a new leaf? Well, look, these two games have been phenomenal. There's not really much else to say. It's been two great games, and at the end of the day, we can look at it as two individually brilliant games, or we can look at it as, hey, the Chicago Bulls have found a way to really work well together in a cohesive unit and win games. Pick which one you want. At the end of the day, that truly defines the answer for you. If you just see these two games as two games that are massively brilliant but nothing more, then no, the Chicago Bulls have not turned over a new leaf. But if you feel the Chicago Bulls team has set the standard and are meeting the standard, then yes, they might have turned over a new leaf. But I guess the answer is, and it's a very obvious answer, but it's still an answer that I feel like needs to be said. The answer is it's too early to tell. Zach LaVine being out for a week, that means he's going to have two more games that he'll be missing for the Chicago Bulls, most likely, in the Charlotte Hornets and in the San Antonio Spurs. 4 games is more information than 2 games. If we come out in those games against Charlotte and the Spurs, win those games, those are 2 winnable games for the Chicago Bulls in every sense of the word. We deliver great performances. We deliver, obviously, the very similar style of play. We win those games, we do it comfortably, then maybe we could say the Chicago Bulls have turned over a new leaf. At the end of the day, 4-game winning streak after a 5-game losing streak. I don't think anyone's really going to complain about that. And of course, the young guys are really stepping up for the Chicago Bulls in more ways than one, and that is always great to see. And that is something that you can't always expect every single game. Guys like Patrick Williams, Coby White, they're doing well, really well at the moment, but it's hard to say they've turned over a new leaf because of the consistency issues they may have. Young guys will always have consistency issues, and that will just hurt the Chicago Bulls in some games, and it will help the Bulls in other games when they're stepping up to the plate and when they are delivering. So I think it's too early to tell, but let's enjoy it while it's here. Again, the young guys are playing. Coby's playing massive minutes and taking big responsibility. Patrick Williams doing really well on the two-way capabilities. Ayo getting a lot more minutes and a lot more trust by Billy Donovan and being a massive transition threat. Phenomenal to see. Caruso still being Caruso. DeMar DeRozan fitting into the system very, very nicely. There's so much to like about the performance against the Pelicans and the performance against the Bucks, and those things should not be ignored, but it's also not things that I believe will truly be permanent for a long, sustainable period of time. But it's too early to tell. Let's wait and see how the Chicago Bulls do against Charlotte and then against the San Antonio Spurs. But that does lead to the second question of the video. Should AK have said, and is it right for him to say, that if the Chicago Bulls trade Zach LaVine, they will experiment with that team and look at that team before they make any other drastic moves? Essentially, they're not fully committing to a retooling or a rebuild until they see more information, essentially. Now, what's good about this question is that you're kind of already seeing it with what the Chicago Bulls is now. Zach LaVine's out for a week. He's missed 2 games. He's missed the Bucks game, and he's missed this Pelicans game. He'll be missing the Charlotte game, and he'll be missing the San Antonio Spurs game. So that's a straight week, ladies and gentlemen. There's 4 games where the Chicago Bulls could truly analyze what this team will look like without Zach LaVine. And the proof is in the pudding. The results have been phenomenal for the Chicago Bulls. Now, I'm not saying that we're going to do massively better without Zach LaVine or that we desperately need Zach LaVine, but I think what once people thought was just an absolutely disastrous comment from Arturas Karnisovas, or at least there was the report. I don't know if he actually said this, but that was the report that came out there. What was once thought as a disastrous report has turned into a report that I think people are starting to like. Hey, this young team's doing well. Fair play to them. All the credit to them. They're winning games that I don't expect them to win. Nothing to take away from them, man. They're phenomenal. as a young team at the moment and the way that they're playing. And I hope it does continue. But AK is right in that instance now, because if this young team can continue to deliver performances like this every now and then for the Chicago Bulls, to continue to pile up the victories in these spaces, then again, we have something there. It's only time will tell. Again, more results will tell all. More results gives us more information. So far, what we've seen from the Chicago Bulls is that this Bulls team will not be consistent. This Bulls team will not be sustainable. But that can change with a couple of wins. A winning streak could change everything for the Chicago Bulls. So, again, I think AK is right. If Zach LaVine does get traded, which we know is the likely outcome from this Bulls team, whatever pieces we get back will be obviously very important. The picks we may get, the players in return, that will change the Chicago Bulls team and how we play. Plus, no Zach LaVine at the end of the day means that guys like Coby White will have to step up on a regular basis. Ayo will have to step up on a regular basis. Caruso will have to step up on a regular basis. Can those guys deliver that every single night? I don't know. Time will tell. More analysts, more information. That's how we're going to truly find out. And again, with that being said, more information with Zach LaVine out of the team, then we can pick that rebuilding or retooling mode. I'm still on team rebuild. Again, if these young guys are playing and they're winning, I'm not going to complain. I'd love to see the young guys win more games, and it's phenomenal to see. But with young guys, tends to lead to a rebuild, and I am therefore on team rebuild. I want to see these young guys play more. I want to see these young guys kind of put on that jersey and represent the Chicago Bulls in the right way. I want to see them work hard. I want to see that work ethic, and win or lose, I want to be proud of what I'm watching on the screen every single game. And that's what I want to see. So in terms of to answer the question, has the Chicago Bulls turned a new leaf? Too early to tell. Has AK made the right suggestion in the report that once they do trade Zach LaVine, they're going to analyze this team even further to gather more information before making the right decision? Yes, I believe that is the right comment. I think, again, what once was just rebuild this whole team and trade everybody is now, hey, look, this team has won 2 great games, potentially could be winning 2 more, maybe winning a couple of more after that, and all of a sudden, this team has found new life that we didn't have before, and then maybe you do have to make that assessment, make that judgment, whatever the case may be. So let's see. Could be right, could be wrong. I don't have the answers for you. No one really has the answers for you, but that's my thoughts on this situation. What do you guys think? Thank you for watching. Drop a like and a follow, and or subscribe if you are new. I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay tuned for more. Take care, and peace.